Urban Legend Will Evans, welcome to the live stream. I'm blessed to be here. I'm glad that you guys are here. We have a story for you guys today. 50 Cent has claimed that everything, not everything that Diddy's going through, but the speed at which Diddy is going through, the trial that he's going through in the criminal case and how fast it happened is because he pissed off a certain person or a certain group of people in the Illuminati, them top tier elitist executives. And we're going to listen to what 50 had to say on this live stream. We're going to break it down. I'm going to go through all the articles to back up what 50 said and see if what he said is the truth. As a side note, I love 50 as an entertainer and as an entrepreneur because I actually learned a lot of my marketing. If you don't know, 50 has shown me a lot of love. He's posted me on his Instagram a lot of times. He's called me smart, said I'm one of the smartest kids he ever saw, and a lot of things. So there is some bias there, obviously, but I love 50. And I think that he says a lot of smart things, and he says things. He taught me how to say things in a way that like complex ideas make them very simple for people to understand. He also taught me a lot about marketing. And a marketing law that 50 taught me was how to use the marketing of people that spent the marketing dollars without spending money of my own, which is something that I coach my clients to do now. So 50 has done a lot for me. I owe that man dinner. But I want to talk about what he had to say about Diddy. We're going to get into that. Rules of the live stream. When you come in, it's subscriber only chat. If you're not a subscriber, you're not going to be able to be in the comment section. Also, if you have a question or comment that you want to leave on screen, you want us to put it on screen and react to it, send it to the super chat. At the second half of this, we're going to talk about this from the entrepreneur perspective. On this topic, I don't know that we could talk about it from any other way than the entrepreneur perspective because it's a lot of business conversation that 50 is about to have. But we're going to hear what he had to say. We're going to read the articles on it. And all I ask is that you guys keep the likes up. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. Let's keep it at 50% of the people in the room. If there's 100 people watching, 50 people hit that like button. Let's keep it like that as we go throughout the live stream. And let's get straight into it, man. Also, before we start every live stream, we always start with a prayer. So we're going to start that way today. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, God, grateful for another day. Grateful for the chance to share this information and this knowledge with each other, God, that we may increase our abundance and our wealth, God, that we understand how the world works and that we understand these things from the business perspective, God. We thank you for everything that you created for us to enjoy freely. And we ask that you bless everybody that's listening today. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, man. Let's see what 50 is talking about. So this whole situation, 50 has been following it, and he's one of the probably the most entertaining person to watch in this situation. I was watching him on IG today. I went back. I don't follow 50. I don't follow many people, but I went back to see what he'd been posting about it, and I want to show you guys some of this stuff. This stuff is funny before we even get into all that. So he posted this meme saying Sean Diddy Combs jury selection for trial is finally complete, and it's just a bunch of 50 cents. That's funny. He said, I'm not sure if this is fair, but don't worry, be happy. I thought that was hilarious. And he constantly posting it. And don't get it twisted. This is just marketing for 50. I don't think he really has nothing against Diddy like that. I think he just, he see a chance to make fun of him and people talking about it. So 50 going to attach himself to it, which is brilliant marketing. This post he put up, he said, Your Honor, this theory of Cassie kicking Diddy's ASS, I'm not buying it. Let's see what else. Hold on. There was some funny stuff. It was reported that Diddy was wearing or he was paying people to wear free Diddy t-shirts, $20 an hour. So 50 been posting about it. But this is something he put up. He said, dang, he did all this ish to go out like this. SMH, this is crazier than regular crazy. That's what 50 posted about Diddy. And then you see all the baby oil bottles in the pool with him. My bad. Hold up. That's me. But this was a funny video. I thought, like, what is this? AI crazy, by the way. Check this out. This is crazy. Nah, this is crazy. That's absolutely insane. AI is out of control. He said something about 50 Diddy and Jay. Said, Jay, we friends to the end. We blew up Kid Cudi car together. That's what 50 said. This stuff got to be documented because this is hilarious. He just put up a picture. Let's see what this one. This was the video where the protesters outside the courthouse were saying that they were being paid $20 an hour. I showed you guys this previously. Check it out.
Why do you feel that way?
So these are all paid protesters. You can get $20 an hour if you wear a t-shirt.
You gotta speak up.
She just got recruited, right?
I refuse.
You said no.
No.
It wasn't worth the 20?
No, but like he told me that it's for a Diddy coin, so I'm not really sure what that is. Yeah, they just tried to pay me $20 to wear a free puffy shirt.
Stop. I could tell because
The lady right there, she just kept convincing me to go wear a shirt, and I'm like, I'm good.
that's just $20. And if you need $20, all you have to do is wear a free puff shirt.
So 50 posted that, which is hilarious. Hold on, my fault. And then he was clowning it. What is this? Photos of Diddy's stash of baby oil and drugs from his hotel room. Oh, this is breaking news. Let's see what this is about. Because if you don't know, Diddy, when he got caught, they said that the Fed said that same day, the hotel that they arrested him in, he had drugs and baby oil in his hotel room that day, the day he got arrested. So let's see what this is about. I guess this is the picture of it, of what they arrested him with. He had this on his person when he was arrested. I don't know if this is, I don't know. I don't know where these photos came from. That's crazy though. Anyways, let's see what 50 was saying. There was another funny post that was like 50 comedy for that. So after they said that 50 was outside the courthouse, there's another picture. They put it, I don't know if this is I think this is AI, where they put a free Diddy t-shirt on 50. And said he only made Cassie's mom take out a home equity loan to pay $20K for him not to put out the tapes. Free itty bitty Diddy. He called him itty bitty Diddy because I guess one of the girls that got on the stand said Diddy male parts is like the size of a Tootsie Roll. On the stand, she said that. So he said, LOL, wait, is that legal? So 50 funny. This is what it is. And he put the report up. And that's to avoid the lawsuit. He put the article up. And it says, fear for daughter's safety. Around the same time, her daughter reached out about the tape threat. Diddy reached out to Cassie's mom asking for $20,000 to recoup the money he had spent on Cassie. So Cassie's mom testified at court and said this. It says Combs was angry. Her daughter was now in a relationship with Kid Cudi. The only way that Cassie's mom and her husband could help get the money was to take out a home equity line of credit, which is a HELOC, on their house. And then she wired the money to the bad boy account. 5 days later, the money was returned to her account. And the jury saw photos of Cassie's mom that Cassie mom took of her daughter in December 2011 at their Connecticut home after Diddy physically allegedly assaulted her in an effort to keep evidence. She was bruised. This is a quote from Cassie's mom. She says she was bruised, and I wanted to make sure that we memorialized it. So Diddy basically just was like on some grimy pull a power move, like, yeah, well, you're gonna have to get me $20,000 if you don't want this tape to come out. I guess let's see if this was something else 50. Nah, this is just something else 50 doing. So yeah, 50 got these pictures of free Diddy. He said, okay, now where do I send my $20 invoice to, guys? A deal's a deal. If you want, I can be there tomorrow from 3 to 4, okay? He's talking about the $20 t-shirt. That's funny. Fans are being paid $20 to wear free Diddy t-shirts outside the courtroom. So 50 did talk about this, right? And he said that it wasn't just that Diddy went to jail. He said, now he didn't absolve him of guilt, but he said that this was more about the liquor company that Diddy was at odds with. And he didn't say that Diddy was innocent in any way, but he did say that the criminal case came a little faster and is going a little faster because of what Diddy did with this alcohol company, Diageo. So I'm gonna play that for you, and then we're gonna break it down. I have the articles here to support what 50 is saying. We're gonna play it for you and then let you hear what he had to say, and we'll come back and we'll look at these articles. Check it out. One second.
Initially, when I get into a new venture, I finance it. Like, I usually use my money to start. And then as we get into new positions, I may take investment dollars. But like, if you look at Branson Cognac and Le Chemin Noir Champagne, I own the entire company. That's completely black owned. You have the experience with major corporations like me. My particular experience with Beam Suntory, it was great in the beginning. It's great for us to work for them. It's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So when you see him go to De Leon is when you see him have some issues. And they get bad. You know, and these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you look, when you go to the spirits business, it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Suntory and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the numbers, the right numbers, the amount. So
hit that like button.
The sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies. You see, I had a lawsuit with Remy. They said that because I had an oval shaped bottle that there was some sort of product confusion, and I'm like, weird. It's a big B in the middle of the fucking bottle. Like, you don't own the shape, the whole shape of the bottle. You know? And then we had one in there for a little while until it came, I started saying shit like, 1738, I bet they had slaves.
So that's what 50 said about the situation. And he alluded to it. He said, don't think that the criminal case don't come faster after the civil case because of how Diddy made his former business partners uncomfortable. Right? So I went and dug up the deal that Diddy had, the lawsuit that he won actually against these companies. And then I went and matched it with the dates to see if it lines up around the time that Cassie filed the lawsuit and all this started. Because all this started right after Cassie filed the lawsuit. I believe that they went, and talked to her. She filed the lawsuit, or somebody talked to her, said, hey, it's time to file it. You'll be safe. Because if you're terrified of a person for that long of period of time, decades of being terrified of them, what would give you the courage to come out now? Right? We're talking about somebody that a day after Cassie filed the lawsuit, he was able to give her $30 million, I think it was reported. 30 million. It was like 20 or 30 million. So if he got that much, like tomorrow I could wire you $20 million, what would make you feel like I'm safe? Other than some big people or some other powerful people saying, hey, you'll be okay. We'll protect you. He ain't going to do nothing. We got him. Right? So, just to kind of recap what 50 said on that, what you guys just heard, the article says 50 Cent commented on the complicated legal issues surrounding fellow mogul Sean Diddy Combs and his liquor giant Diageo, drawing comparisons between Diddy and his own experience. In a recent conversation, 50 suggested that the ongoing dispute with Diageo significantly transformed Diddy's civil cases into criminal ones, ultimately resulting in his legal troubles. This is 50's quote, just so to kind of, if you guys missed it in what he was saying. He said, have the experience with major corporations like me. My particular experience, it was great in the beginning. He shared how much his current deal is similar to Diddy's earlier success with Ciroc and De Leon Tequila. He said things can go well when you're simply working for the major corporations, but he emphasized that things take a dramatic turn when ownership and control come into place. He said, quote, it's not so cool when you start to own things. He said, so I made a lot of money with them too. Like there's a point they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. 50 implied that Diddy's increase in ownership and push for more control, particularly with De Leon Tequila, led to problems with Diageo. So 50 said, quote, when you see him go to De Leon is when you see him have some issues. He added, noting that these corporations possess deep-rooted connections and can rapidly complicate things. Don't think the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's made them uncomfortable. That's a big part of this, 50 Cent said. So in May 2023, Diddy began his legal battle with Diageo by filing a lawsuit accusing the company of neglecting to market Ciroc vodka and De Leon tequila. Right? And Diddy called them racist. I remember this. When this all happened, Diddy called them racist, and he went and filed a lawsuit for that. Said it was a discrimination lawsuit. According to him, Diageo treated these brands as urban and did not provide them the same level of support other brands in his portfolio got. Diddy faced multiple legal issues as the dispute progressed, such as numerous lawsuits related to the sexual assault allegations, which caused him to resign as chairman of Revolt. So he went against, and this article is, I remember reporting this back then in 2023. And this article is not 100% on point. Diddy faced them lawsuits after he resolved the lawsuit with Diageo. And the crazy thing is Diageo don't even care about Ciroc still. So I want to bring up the timelines for you guys. It was January 16th, 2024 when Diddy resolved this legal dispute. Okay. And the article says Sean Diddy Combs and Diageo resolve legal dispute. Sean Diddy Combs, Diageo have now resolved all dispute, according to both parties. The quote was, Sean Combs and Diageo have now agreed to resolve all disputes between them. Mr. Combs has withdrawn all of his allegations about Diageo and will voluntarily dismiss his lawsuits against Diageo with prejudice. Now, because a lot of us think, and in a lot of businesses, it may be the case that there's no reason for Diageo to resolve the lawsuit. Like racism, we would think that racism wouldn't be a big deal to these people, right? But it is a big deal. And why is it a big deal? Because exactly what 50 Cent said. If you listen again, go back and listen again, 50 said that, I think he said 68% of their marketing dollars in these alcohol companies go to African-American men. 68% of the marketing dollars go there. So when you accusing these people of being racist, it hurts their brand very, very significantly. So in other businesses, that may not be a big deal, but in the alcohol business, they need black men to buy the alcohol. And so because of that, when Diddy was saying all that, that's really damaging to their brand long term. And that's why 50 made that point. He said, if go back and listen, he said, you know, when they started making him uncomfortable, he started saying 1738, I bet they had slaves. Insinuating that I'll go to the route of letting the public know that there's some racism here. And then that's going to hurt your market share. Same thing Diddy did. But but if you listen, 50 said, I stopped because they stopped and they realized that it wasn't worth pursuing with me. But with Diddy, he didn't stop. He kept going to the point that they had to settle the lawsuit with them. And the ego in corporate America. Some of us work, some of you, not us, but you know, I own, but some of you guys work corporate jobs, right? We work corporate jobs. Have you ever been in a corporate environment and you're doing a better job than ownership, or you're doing a better job than your higher ups, your whoever's above you, and they start treating you weird, even though you're doing it like you might be doing something that's really good for the company, right? And because you're superior, it makes them look like they don't know what they're doing, even though they probably really don't know what they're doing. But it makes them look like you know how to do their job better than them. And then that ego takes over, and now you low key feel the energy in the work environment, right? So imagine with these major corporations in this situation. De Leon Tequila or Diageo, right? The Diageo brand. Diddy come around, you got Ciroc, you got De Leon, and it looks like Diddy know how to market our stuff better than us. And they comfortable with that, like 50 said. They comfortable with that as long as you stay in that subservient position of you're working for us. Like, yeah, you were like our mascot. The minute that you start trying to act like you deserve to be on one of these tiers with us is the minute that it stops. Now it's a problem. No different than when a normal person works in that corporate environment and you start doing your job a little too well without giving the credit to the person above you or making them look good. And then the company start treating you weird, or people in them positions start treating you weird. Now, this is not to absolve Diddy. I think Diddy did everything. Personally, I think Diddy did everything that they said he did. I think most people would agree with that. Diddy guilty. But the point is, this came faster. The pause. This is probably the wrong thing to say. The point is, this progressed quicker than it probably normally would have. Like, you see Diddy get arrested, he in trial 6 months later. That's crazy. You see Diddy finish these lawsuits up with Diageo, the alcohol company, and then Cassie hit right after. And then all these other hundreds of lawsuits hit right after, and then he goes to jail within 8 months, 7 months of settling with Diageo. So, not that he's not guilty, he did this stuff. It looks like, at least. But there's a reason that I believe that these companies knew Diddy was doing this stuff the whole time. I don't think that, I know for a fact, because I was sitting with Michael Franzese. I'm in the wine business, right? I'm an investor in Michael Franzese's wine company. And we were having a dinner talking about the company, talking about wine. And when I was talking to him, he was telling me how he does background checks on people before he decides to work with them. Like, he'll go check, and see who is this person, what their background. I think most corporate places are doing that. So you can't tell me that they didn't know what Diddy was doing this whole time, and then all of a sudden they just knew, and it's like, oh, let's y'all knew the whole time. It's just we don't have no reason to help you no more. We heard with Macy's. If you remember, Macy's and Diddy are involved. The company Macy's, department store, they're involved in a lawsuit together, and they were accused of covering up a 2008 assault that Diddy did in one of their stores. And actually, just recently, they asked to be dropped from the lawsuit, saying that it was all on Diddy. I'll show you guys this. They called him an equal opportunity sexual predator in bid to be dropped from sexual assault lawsuit. Right? And this assault happened in their store. They say Diddy forced the dude to give him oral and all kind of stuff. The October lawsuit accuses Macy's of violating New York City's gender violence law by covering up an alleged attack by Combs on a male employee in their flagship store in 2008. Says the worldwide department chain argues that the plaintiff, only identified as John Doe, cannot accuse Macy's of gender bias because in the very same lawsuit, he describes himself, or he himself describes Diddy as willing to attack both men and women. Do you realize what that means? That means that Macy's is saying, it's not that he didn't attack you that we should get out of this lawsuit for. You said this is a gender. He was biased to gender. And you said, they're not saying that he didn't do it, that Diddy didn't do it. They're saying that because Diddy is willing to attack both men and women, that they shouldn't be involved because it wasn't a discrimination thing. That's why they calling him an equal opportunity sexual predator. Macy's said that as a quote. This is their quote. Plaintiff's own allegations established not only that this was a same-sex assault, but that Mr. Combs sexually assaulted both men and women without regard to gender, the Macy's lawyers argued in court papers last week. Plaintiff does not address the fact that his own allegations established that Diddy was an equal opportunity sexual predator. That's a quote. A spokesperson for Diddy declined to comment on Macy's argument. Of course, because it makes him look guilty, right? So what am I showing you guys that to say? I'm showing you guys that to say that these companies that have been working with Diddy, because they was working with them on Sean John clothing at the time. These companies been knowing what he been doing behind the scenes. They ain't even denying the fact that they knew about this assault and all that back then. So it don't just happen overnight, right? Like y'all know, y'all see what's going on. We all see what's going on. So when 50 says that, it may be some truth to it. The article goes on to say, 50 Cent, who has been no stranger to corporate disputes himself, highlighted the unique challenges that minority entrepreneurs face when they move from brand ambassadors to actual owners. His remarks compared Diddy's case to his own problems with Beam Suntory. Let's see. 50 said the spirits business is not governed. We heard that. And what he's saying is, he's hinting at the power dynamics. Like nobody's checking to make sure that there's no DEI in alcohol business. Like nobody's checking to see if there's any ownership that are black. So it's a tough business. It's a tough business to be in. And so when 50 is saying all that, he's basically just saying that, these lawsuits and all that stuff and Diddy's criminal case coming faster happened because of what he did back then. Now, he won the lawsuit, right? Diddy won the lawsuit. Says Combs sued Diageo in May 2023 in New York Supreme Court in Manhattan. So that's when the lawsuit started. Right? He said that they had neglected the spirits under their joint control. His brand, basically. In his lawsuit, Diddy alleged that Diageo had not been given Ciroc and De Leon the same kind of marketing and promotion that had given other properties in his portfolio. He also alleged that Diageo has undermined the business by marketing Ciroc and De Leon as urban rather than something for the general market. So basically, y'all just made it like it's a black brand and not just a brand, is what Diddy accused them of. And this was a big deal when it came out, because Diddy had been working with Ciroc for so long. For Diddy to call them racist, it was a big deal. Said in the filing made the following month, the same jurisdiction, Diageo called for the suit to be dismissed and said it would no longer be working with Combs, who over the years had launched a clothing line, restaurant, and has a stake in Revolt TV. But Diageo countered that Combs had failed to meet obligations to which he had previously agreed. This is a quote from Diageo. They said, "We are saddened that Mr. Combs has chosen to recast a business dispute as anything other than that and chosen to damage a productive and valued partnership. Mr. Combs' bad faith actions have clearly breached his contracts and left us no choice but to move to dismiss his baseless complaint and end our business relationship. Mr. Combs has repeatedly undermined our partnerships and threatened to publicly defame Diageo if we did not meet his unreasonable financial demands. Diageo believes strongly in Ciroc and De Leon." No, they don't. That's a lie, by the way. I'm about to show you guys why in a second. Just stick with me. I have another article to show y'all on that. So this is a long statement, by the way, for a company to put out. They didn't just saying it is what it is. They hurt. They hurt by this. Diageo believes strongly in Ciroc and De Leon brands and remains committed to their success, which is why we tried for years to salvage the broken relationship with Diddy. We funded the purchase of De Leon for the joint venture and proceeded to invest more than $100 million to grow the brand. Despite having made nearly $1 billion over the course of our 15-year relationship with Mr. Combs, a 15-year relationship, Mr. Combs contributed a total of $1,000 and refused to honor his commitment. So they saying that we gave Diddy this company and all he's ever put into the company is $1,000. We spent $100 million in 15 years to make this brand grow. And all it's done is they really saying all it's done is promote Diddy. All we've done is spent $100 million to promote him. Yeah, we made $1 billion. That's what they said. We made over $1 billion, but they offended. They offended that Diddy, did all this. The company added, "We have exhausted every reasonable remedy and see no other path forward. Diageo attempting to end this deal with Mr. Combs is like firing a whistleblower who calls out racism. It's a cynical and transparent attempt to distract from multiple allegations of discrimination." That's what Diddy's attorney said. So this is a big deal. This wasn't no little stuff, man. You got to think, where I come from, before we even continue with this article, where I come from, people will kill you for $1,000. I'm not exaggerating. I know that sounds like because the internet desensitizes us to violence, but somebody will literally come to your house and take your life if you steal $1,000 from them, where I come from. So $100 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's how they feel. Like, bro, we invested $100 million into you in 15 years, more than anything. The 15 years I can't get back. Yeah, we made the money back. The time I can never go back. They feel offended that you would even, and they say we've allowed you to only invest $1,000. They said $1,000 did he put in. That was a good deal for him. Look, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Is what the scriptures say. Like, when you doing these deals, don't think, man, listen. Yeah, they allowed you to put $1,000 in for a reason. Now, let's not be corporate people. Like, I'm not corporate, man, in this regard. Y'all got $1 billion out of it. So I understand on a business level, on that side of it, where it's like, yeah, y'all might have spent $100 million, but bro, y'all made $1 billion. What y'all complaining for? But so what's the real complaint is what we have to ask ourselves. The real complaint is you not staying in line. And we want you to stay in line. And behind the scenes, we was cool keeping it quiet when you like do some wild stuff, as long as you shut up publicly. But when you start going to the public saying we racist and we're spending 68% of our marketing dollars to market to black men, we should take account of that, by the way. That they feel like alcohol is so important to black men that they're going to spend 68% of $100 million to make sure that we buy the alcohol. What does that say? But anyways, they feel away. So they basically, Diddy's lawyers were like, man, y'all just firing him and getting rid of him because he's a whistleblower. Diddy's lawyer said over the years, he has repeatedly raised concerns to the senior executives as they uttered racially insensitive comments and made biased decisions based on that point of view. Diageo even acknowledged the problem by agreeing in his contract to treat De Leon the same way it treated their other tequila brands. He brought up the lawsuit to force them to live up to that contract. And instead, they respond by trying to get rid of him. This lawsuit and Mr. Combs are not going away. That's what Diddy's lawyer said. That's a threat. We ain't going away. We about to press the issue. They said, okay, we're going to make you go away. No problem. Hey, Cassie, didn't you remember all them times we was bringing cases of tequila and vodka to them parties? And we saw when Diddy did this to you? Look, get with us. We're going to protect you. Allegedly. So That was May of 2023 that Diddy filed that lawsuit, right? What's the date on when it resolved the lawsuit? Let's see when they resolved the lawsuit. May 2023, they filed the lawsuit. It says January 16th, 2024, they settled the lawsuit, right? And it was withdrawn. Cassie, hold on. Let's look at these dates. Yep, January 16th, 2024. So let me give you guys a timeline of it real quick. Diddy files the lawsuit May 2023. Cassie files her lawsuit November 2023. On last Friday, she addressed that it was a $20 million payout that Diddy gave her after she filed the lawsuit in 2023, November. And the lawsuit was settled one day after she filed it. Diageo and Diddy settled their lawsuit 2 months later. Right? And it said they reached a settlement to resolve their lawsuit. The detailed terms of the Tuesday settlement were not disclosed, but Diageo and Combs said in a joint statement that the agreement would leave the two with no ongoing business relationship, removing Combs from any further involvement in not just De Leon, but also Ciroc Vodka. So Diageo got both of his liquor brands back from Diddy, both of the liquor brands back from Diddy. So now we have no reason to be around you. Right? And they still made a statement. After the statement I just read to you guys, they made another statement a month later. And so they're pissed because when you settle a lawsuit, that's usually the end of it. A month later, Diageo came out after settling the lawsuit in February 2024. They came out and said that the lawsuit was a, quote, bad faith sham action. So they paid, in other words. We paid, we got. It said it was filed by a star. This is a quote from them. This was filed by a star who had amassed nearly $1 billion from our partnership, but now wants to extract billions more. There it is. There it is. That's where the anger is coming from. We made you a billionaire, and you want to come to us and get billions more? You only got that because of us. So now guess what? If we got to pay you, you got to pay Cassie. And you got to pay this. And you got to pay that. Now, not saying that he didn't do the things that he's accused of. He is. I think he's guilty. But I think that button got pushed. They're making statements a month after. Diageo made statements a month after settling the lawsuit, after going to court for a year. A month later, we still pissed. And then Diddy gets arrested September 24. September 2024, Diddy gets arrested. He's on trial. It's 2025, May 2025. He goes to trial. That's for these serious crimes. That's right around, that's boom, boom, boom. May 2023, he files a lawsuit against Diageo. November 2023, Cassie files her lawsuit. She wins it the next day in November. January, they settle the lawsuit 2 months later, 2024. A month after, February 2024, they put another statement out about Diddy. By September, he's sitting in jail with a full federal case, and his house is being raided. The Homeland Security raided all three of Diddy's homes in New York, LA, and Miami, all at the same second. 3-hour time difference. They called on the phone. They said, hey, all of us at the same time. 1, 2, 3, go now, go now, go now. That's a very coordinated, calculated thing. You don't build that case in 6 months. So this case was either already being built, like the feds say they've been building this case since 2008 or whatever. But the speed in which everything happened right after these lawsuits, Cassie was the final domino. And that's what's really going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? A video of Cassie from 2016 comes out. Now, I'm not saying that he's not guilty. I want to keep reiterating that. I believe that man is guilty. I just want us to be aware of what's going on in the real world. The things that we're not talking about while this trial is going on. And I think that timeline, federal crimes, you normally go to court 2, 3, 4, 5 years before we even hear that, yeah, this person is either guilty or not guilty. Diddy about to be convicted this year. You know? And I think there's a lesson in all of that for all of us. Not just we look at these entertainment news topics sometimes and we feel like this can't happen to us. But I think it's already happening to all of us in a lot of ways. Like, who do you have to bow down to when you go to work? What'll happen if you piss off the right person? You know, and this is a big deal, man. But that's the situation he put himself in. Because when you take the money, and I think that, like, I'm an investor in an alcohol company, just being straight up, Franzese Wines, right? What got me into the investment is because they have a non-alcoholic wine, which I don't drink, but my wife likes wine, right? And because of that, the non-alcoholic wine was good for me to be able to drink with my wife, so she feels like she has her friend there drinking with her. You know, me and my wife best friends, obviously. And I was like, this is a good investment. Also, the IP that's owned, you know, by the company is more what I'm interested in. Because there's some IP that's owned outside of just the wine, just outside of just the product. That I'm like, okay, I got to be owner of this company because they own something else that's very important that you guys will see over the next 5-10 years. But being an investor in that business, I know how difficult it is to be in that business. So you don't get a deal like Diddy unless they really feel like they can make more off you or something. It's something. You don't just get that. It's very hard business, very tough business. And it is like the mob, to be real with you. Like the top players in that, they ain't really trying to give up no shelf space. And they don't really like nobody new, especially not nobody new black trying to be an owner. Even me, I had to come in as I didn't just start my own. I had to go under somebody else's company that, you know. So maybe I'll just look at things that way. I do think Diddy is guilty. I don't think that Diddy is about to get this. I think he deserves to go to jail. There's a book called The 48 Laws of Power. The law number 1 is never outshine the master. And what that means is don't become bigger than the program, basically. But here's the thing. You still get to choose your master in business. You get to choose. You know, and when you're marketing something, or when you get in business with somebody that they don't really, I don't know if these are good or bad people. Don't seem like good people to me. I'll just say it that way. But if you're still willing to get in bed with them, then like my grandmama used to say, you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something. I'm not gonna say unfortunate. I think I'm gonna just sit back and say, hey man, it's a situation that we should be aware of. Right? And we're gonna talk about this a little bit more in my inner circle. If you're not in my inner circle, go join my inner circle. It's at the website scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I want to invite you guys, all my entrepreneurs. This ain't gonna be a long live stream. We're gonna end this one early today because I got some other things to do. I gotta go talk to some employees. But I want to invite you guys, all my people that don't know who I am. We do a private live event every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. just for you guys, for all my entrepreneurs or my people that's trying to get into business that ain't in business. We do a private live event every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. California time, called From Stuck to Seven Figures, where I help you guys get unstuck. It's no charge, no cost to you. All you got to do is go to the website, put your email address in. We'll send you a link to the private live. It's a private live stream. And we teach you the 4 steps to get unstuck from any level, whether you're trying to find your purpose, find the business idea, or you're stuck at that 50,000, 70,000 a year running your business or working your business like as if you're working a job and you getting burnt out and exhausted and you trying to get to the next level, or whether you stuck at that 6 figures and you're trying to scale, how do I make $1 million company? We get you through all them levels, and I do it all in that live event. It's no cost. I do it for you guys. Go over there, put your email address in, and make sure you're on time to the live, because it's not pre-recorded. It's not recorded. It's really live, and there is no playback unless you're in my inner circle. If you're in my inner circle, then you get it. So you can get in the inner circle for $9. Then you get the playback, and you get all the other resources too. But go over there to ulegend.com, ulgnd.com, short for Urban Legend, like Urban Legend Will Evans, ulgnd.com, and put your email address in. Join the private live. We do it every Wednesday, so join it. Make sure you're there on time. And make sure you got your notepad out, because the information there is really good. And if you've been in the private live, let them know in the chat how it be going. We help a lot of people. I love when I get over there, it'd be like 400 or 500 people over there, and everybody be networking in the chat. I love that. So make sure you join that event. It's going to be a good time, you guys. I promise you're going to walk away with more than well, I guess I can't say more than what you pay for, because you ain't paying nothing, but you're paying with attention. So go over there, check it out, man. Until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm here every day on YouTube between 9 and 10 a.m. live streaming, talking about whatever today's current events is from the entrepreneur perspective, hoping that we can help you guys get to the next level. I don't have much teaching to do today because I got a lot of speaking to do today. But thank you for watching. My name is Will Evans. I'll see you guys Wednesday at From Stuck to 7 Figures. God bless you guys, and hit that like button on your way out.